A team that was all over the place, Shay, if I take it local, right? Mamelodi Sundowns. I mean, we were here last week saying it's a downfall of Sundowns overhyped because they were winning 4, they were winning 5, they were putting goals past people. It looked easy once again. But this time, they failed to register even a shot on target. And by the team being everywhere, I meant Mangoba went to the change side yet again. And I asked, is he changing for change's sake, or does he see these things in practice and he figures, you're worthy of a startup, you haven't been playing for a while, you're good to start this time. So they go down to Polokwane City 1-0. Jay, more noise. Chiefs lost as well. Pirates won. How does the title race look in the PSL, number one? And two, should the noise come back for Mangoba?
It's exciting. If you're asking me about the title race is exciting right now. When last did we have a situation whereby there's one team who've won all the games to begin the season, and that is not Mamelodi Sundowns?
Yeah.
And Sundowns suffer a loss. And there's a feeling that, you're losing ground. For Mamelodi Sundowns, the 7-time defending PSL champions, it's exciting, Chuck. And I think this is what the South African football-loving public have been crying out for, maybe except for the supporters of Sundowns themselves, right? Where there is jeopardy and feels like there is jeopardy. This was the thought, maybe, that, with Rulani gone and the changes in the backroom stuff, what is maybe going to happen is Sundowns are going to take a step down from the 73 points. And I believe that's what needed to happen in order for Sundowns to be challenged for the title. Because if Sundowns are going to put up 70 points again, I don't think there's anybody else who's then going to put up 71. So what you were hoping for is that they regress back to the pack, and then someone from the pack or a couple of teams from the pack, they then go a little further than what they did in the case of Orlando Pirates beyond how many points did Pirates finish on? 50 something, somewhere in the 50s, right? And you are hoping Pirates can add 5 to 10 points to their total from last season. And so far, so good. And this is what it looks like. You have, at this point at least, a clear title chase, a clear title picture that Pirates are in there, they're on top of the log. Sundowns are there. They just suffered a loss, and it's a bad loss when you think about the fact that they did not manage a shot on target for the first time since 2020, right? And them having a second performance like this where they're struggling to get goals against this opponent means that this is not a fluke, because this happened in the MTN8 against Polokwane City. They needed extra time to go on and win that game, but they were struggling to create chances to score goals against this opponent. There's a blueprint now, and other teams can look at that. And now you think to yourself, well, if more teams can frustrate Sundowns in the way that Polokwane did, and whether it ends up in a draw or you are able to sneak a late winner like Bulelani Nekali did in that game against Sundowns, you can have them, And there's, Chuck, a stripping away of that aura that they're unbeatable. Because a lot of teams, before even stepping on the field of Sundowns, already lost that game, Now when you can take that away and as well at the same time have a challenge in the form of Pirates who just keep producing the results, you start to think to yourself, maybe we might have a change of the guard come end of the season. Maybe, though, because league titles are not won in October.
I mean, yeah, that's a fact. League titles are not won in October, right? But also, that's the feeling around things that makes this season look a bit more special, because there's Unkota scoring screamers and the Bucks supporters staying for minutes after the game has ended, and they're applauding just about anyone in a black shirt. They're applauding Riviero, they're applauding Unkota. There's a dismay and embarrassment from Sundowns. Then there's the embarrassment of Chiefs fans, but Gavin Hunt is up as well, and you're like, hold on, this is different, because as you said, every other season we knew at this time of the season, the league is gone because someone would have dropped points, if not just one game, 2 games, and Sundowns are off and they're flying. And then they go to the African duties and they come back after 5-6 games, still on top, and they continue on their merry way. But this time it's not like that. So I think this league feels different. This season feels different. But to look at the different squads and what I've seen thus far, right? Pirates play well, but they exert so much energy. Like, I was looking at Maswangai, looking at Mfukeng, Munkota, Talent Mbata, in the 80th minute, still pressing, still running their socks off. I'm like, guys, you can't win the league running like this the entire day. You can as a style, but you need more players to come in. So Ndlondo has to play, or Paseka Marco has to play. Otherwise, you can't replicate this.
Ndlondo has to play. I don't know.
What I'm saying, with this tempo, Jay, when you run like this,
games are won.
Yeah. That's why I think you bemoan the number of chances that we missed. Nkota should have gotten his hat-trick, got hold of the pitch, and we would have been 4 up, and then you can switch up the sides and then say, okay, if they score 1 or 2, it's fine, the game's in the bag. But if it's a close game and we're always running, huffing and puffing till 90, our players are going to get worn out. If I look at Sundowns, the chopping and changing is not going to work. Like we said last week, the benefit of Arne Slot is that he's taking the club formula, he's tweaking it here and there, but largely because it's worked. He's not done too much to it. And whereas I think Manga was trying to do too much to the system. Yes, you've got injury concerns with certain players here and there, but largely, if it's been working, tweak it kancane and then display what you want. But don't rush to implement your own idea or rubber stamp things, because it's good to say Ange Postecoglou after five games, you can see what he wants to do. But it's good if Ange has won 5 games as well. So with Mangoba, I think have that focus, because they seem to have regressed a bit, because against Polokwane City, they hit the post 3 or 4 times, having gotten to extra time to win that game. But with this one, they weren't as close. I think it took them the 60th minute before they registered a shot on goal. That is bad. It's a bad performance. I mean, that is not heard of. Like in a Sundowns show, 60th minute, then you get a shot on goal.